I couldn't do anything but just lay there. I couldn't fix meals of all the doctor's visits, scans. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I felt kind of bullied by my own body.
I remember there was some ass kicking involved.
Only as needed, though.
Hey everybody, I wanted to introduce today to you Jamie, and Jamie is a classic case of someone with tons of symptoms and tons of diagnostic workup for decades and not getting any answers and getting sicker and sicker to the point of disability. How does she turn this around from 10 out of 10 symptoms of severe neurological pain, fatigue, brain fog, and tons of food sensitivities into, you'll see what happens to her just after a couple months. So I hope you enjoy watching this interview with Jamie. All right, everybody. Jamie, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Jamie. I'm 37 years old. I live in Southern California. I have 2 little kids at home, and I'm a marriage and family therapist.
And as far as you and I know, you do not have a diagnosis.
Correct.
And the question is that a blessing or is that a problem?
Yeah. So for sure now it's a blessing. Initially, it drove me crazy because I thought if I could just get that diagnosis, then, I could figure out a perfect plan or fix it or whatever. And then what I learned from you, Maggie, is that it kind of doesn't matter what your diagnosis is because you deal with it all the same way. So, yeah.
Well, there's a root cause to all autoimmune diseases, regardless of whether you actually have a diagnosis or not. The root cause is actually to chronic disease that are common. So my question for you then is, what were some of your top symptoms? You told me you had I remember when you first joined the program, there's a laundry list. You said 20 to 40 things. I'd love to know your top 5.
Yeah, it was kind of nice today. I had to review I had written it down in a journal, and it's so far away from my mind now, I couldn't remember. So I had to look in my journal, and it was like 2 pages front and back of symptoms. But I think the top 5 would be like, I know I had a lot of gut issues. I had a lot of neurological symptoms, like the burning, tingling sensations. The brain fog got really bad. I had a hard time like forming sentences, thinking. Fatigue, a lot of fatigue.
You're a working mom. How much of an impact did these symptoms have upon your daily life and the quality of life?
Oh, it took me down completely. Like there was a period of time I was bedridden. My husband had to take over like all the parenting, all the house stuff. I had to take some time off of work. I just like checked out of life. I could not function.
And during that time, were you working as a therapist as well?
No. Well, first of all, I was like, I'm just not equipped right now to help anybody else with anything because I just couldn't even get myself together.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do anything but just lay there. I couldn't fix meals. I couldn't even take showers. It was horrible.
And meanwhile, you went through the normal route that most people with tons of mystery symptoms do. They go through tons of specialists, tons of diagnostic testing, tons of procedures, and tons of side effects from many of these procedures and diagnostic testing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I went to every single specialist that you can think of.
Yeah, I remember at the very beginning of the program, you were also going to see yet another specialist.
I've been poked and prodded so many times. It's just, I've been everywhere, done everything, so.
Okay, poked and prodded. I totally get that. So, all right, let's fast forward.
Sure.
You started our program about 3-4 months ago.
Yep.
We are a 2-month online program to transform people's autoimmunity, working directly with me and my team. And it's an educational approach to turning around autoimmunity. So question for you is, you've been through this process. What are your outcomes now?
Okay, so my outcomes are I'm completely symptom-free. So to me, that's just like, I could not even imagine the day. And so here I am, and I'm so grateful.
What do you mean you're symptom-free? We just talked about you had excruciating neurological pain, terrible fatigue, severe brain fog, severe food sensitivities, and you were bedridden and unable to do your job. So you're telling me that in the last 2-3 months, you went from 10 out of 10 on those things right now to 0 symptoms?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, 0.
That's shocking for people.
It is shocking. I thought I was in so deep in this hole, I thought I'd never get out. I never thought I would see the day.
Okay. It's shocking for you. It's shocking for our audience. It's not actually shocking for me.
I didn't think it would be.
I'm so thrilled for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So people are going to want to know that identify with a lot of symptoms. These symptoms is, what do you think why was this different than anything else you've done?
I think anything else I tried, it was this very like one road approach. You know, everybody has a specialty. Everybody thinks that everything boils down to one particular set of like a body part, or, you know, I saw a gut doctor, but everybody just wanted to treat whatever was wrong with me through that one lens. And so I thought what was fascinating about this approach is that it's so multifaceted. And so if someone were to ask me, what's the single thing that helped you the most? I'd be like, I don't know, because there are just so many different layers and so many different things at play all at one time in this program.
Well, I call it the Transform Protocol, which is our 5-pillar approach. And our 5 pillars are individual key triggers of chronic disease. And we approach it using data and education and live coaching with you. If you had to name one linchpin, one pillar or 2 pillars that really was the biggest turnaround for you in this, that could give hope to other people, what would you say those 1 or 2 pillars were, if you could?
Right. Okay. So I know because of testing and the labs that we ran.
Yeah.
I mean, I was off in every single one of the pillars, but I think for me, even after going through phase 1 of the program, I was implementing all the different factors, but I still wasn't getting there. And so for me, one of the key factors was the mindset part. You know, like, because you were saying like, oh, it's totally possible. You know, you can get to this place where you're feeling like yourself. And until I really grabbed a hold of that and believed it, I couldn't get out of whatever pattern that I was in.
Well, this is funny because you're a therapist.
I know. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be telling anybody I'm a therapist anymore, because
well, no, I love this, because I think we become the best teachers in our greatest area of suffering.
Yeah. So I've learned so much really about the power of our own thinking and our own belief system.
So nobody signs up for this program thinking that that mindset was going to be the most pivotal thing for them.
I didn't, because I just wanted like some easy fix, you know, like take this pill, cut out that food. And yeah, that's part of it, right? But the harder part, you know, for permanent change for me was really the mindset stuff. That was the most transformational for me.
You know, Jamie, I'm so glad you point this out, because, you know, I'm a medical doctor, right? And so people expect coming into this program or looking at our pillars that this is all medically oriented. But what I hide, it sounds crazy, but what's hidden behind the 5 pillars is actually a huge mindset program. And what mindset is we really change the way that people think. Because I really think that if you don't change the way you think, you can't get different outcomes.
I think for me, you know, I had all the factors in place, and it was as if like, you know, there's a car that's moving, which is all the stuff that's happening in my body, and it wants to go, but my mindset was like the thing that kind of was a roadblock. And so as soon as I got that piece, then it could allow, you know, all the other things that we were implementing to take off.
Question for you. What almost kept you from joining the program?
Probably the financial piece, but not even fully believing that it could work. Because if you believe that it can work, then the money is, you know, sort of like a no-brainer, you know, like if it's a difference between, you know, not being able to get out of bed and living life again, like you'll find the funds.
I agree with you, but here's the thing was, you know, you weren't even able to work, which is your source of income.
Right.
And so it's interesting the way that people think about investing money in themselves. They think that cost is like a fixed thing, but the thing is that the cost, yes, there is a cost, there is an investment, right? But at the same time, what is the cost of not fixing this problem is astronomical.
Yeah, I was going over my bank statement from the last however many months of all the doctor's visits, scans. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I wasted. I could have just taken care of it doing this program. I'm like, why did I have to know that badly? And, you know, at the end of the road, I never found an answer anyway. So,
well, I think, look at it this way. If you spend money and you get the outcome that you want, then it's actually a good deal. But if you spend the money and you're the same or worse, that's not a good investment of your money.
Right.
So you got to think about what the value is that you're getting for your money, right? So here's a question. What is something that you can do now effortlessly, whereas 3 months ago, you would have thought was impossible?
Right. Well, sit up. Number one.
I remember your helmet. Remember your ice helmet?
Yeah, I don't have to wear my headache hat anymore, which is really nice. So sitting up, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I took that for granted. Just, I don't know, laughing. Being able to drive somewhere, walking around, just things that are very basic. I don't take those for granted anymore. Like, I'm just so grateful. Having energy, playing, just feeling like a human. Doesn't take much anymore for me to be, happy. Just being able to function.
You said mindset was powerful. What's
Yeah.
something you learned about yourself that surprised you?
Oh, just how much I lived in fear.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's huge. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think I saw myself as someone that was very powerless in my own life.
Mhm.
And, I kind of let myself be pushed around by people. And then, even further, then I felt kind of bullied by my own body. So finally, there came a point where I was just like, no, I'm not going to be bullied by people, and I'm not going to be bullied by my own self. And I kind of found that power within myself. And then I started to really, believe that healing is possible. And that kind of really turned things around for me.
I remember distinctly actually having a conversation with you on one of our coaching calls where
Yeah.
you said, I just told myself I'm gonna get into a car and do this today.
Hmm.
Or I
Hmm.
just told myself I am going to sit upright today. And I'm
Yeah.
here. I did it today. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really got tired of having my life being dictated by things or people other than, my own self. And so I remember saying to you, Maggie, I had this list of things that I wanted to do once I got better. And then I realized, just sitting here, I don't think I'm just going to magically, get better and then be able to do those things. It's going to be the opposite. I think I'm going to have to get out there, start living life, doing things, and then my body will follow. And that's exactly what happened.
You decide you're the pilot. You're not the
I
passenger
decided.
anymore.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
decide you're the pilot. You're no
Mhm.
longer the passenger.
Yeah. So I think, I was so distraught when my body started spazzing out on me, but now I'm so grateful because this is like a lesson I'll never forget. It really changed me. Mindset wise, it really changed me.
I don't think it just changed you. I think it's going to change your relationship with your partner, your family, your
Yeah.
kids. Their experience of you is totally different now than 3 months ago. Question for you. If there was
Yeah.
somebody that's sitting at home on their computer right now and they're deciding whether they should just click a button to like watch our training or book a call with us or join our Facebook group, like if somebody's just sitting there deciding whether they should join our training or not, what would you say to them right now?
So I know that you're in a position right now where things are really unknown, where you're scared, or you've been disappointed for a really long time. There's probably a lot of grief from not being able to do the things that you used to do, or you're missing out on things. But I want to tell you that your life doesn't have to be that way. There really is an option for you to turn everything around. And this is it because it's real. I lived it. It's real.
Woo, that was a whirlwind. And I love the fact that Jamie, as a family therapist, recognized that fear was her biggest obstacle. And that mindset work, working on how she thought, really helped her blow the lid off of all these health obstacles that she was facing. So I hope you enjoyed the interview as much as I did. And if you feel like you benefited from it and that someone else you know benefited from it, make sure you, in the comment section, tag someone you know, like one or two people that you think could benefit from it. Because they may not listen to you, but they may listen to me or they may listen to Jamie, and sharing is and raising awareness is caring. So go ahead and make that happen. And I invite you to join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally, and to check out our website, drmaggieu.com. All right, see you later.